Yo, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, I'm gonna come out and just finish off portfolio theory today. Uh, yep, I have I have three chapters to go. So that's modern portfolio theory. I have models for asset returns, and I finally have capital asset pricing models. It's not very technical. It's not very tough, but yeah, it's gonna take effort. I also have an off tomorrow, so I hope I can finish off financial engineering, at least a big chunk of it tomorrow. So I'm gonna do a marathon session. I think 16, 18 hour marathon maybe. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Uh, Also, it's my brother's birthday today. Shout out to my brother. Uh, yeah, he's having his party outside, and since his exams are done, he's having fun. So I'm just gonna start off with this, and yeah, let's get to it. So three tasks for today: portfolio theory, which is modern portfolio theory, then models of asset returns, and finally asset pricing models, which I think should finish off part one of financial loss reserving in financial engineering. So let's get started. So modern portfolio theory introduces mean variance portfolio theory. Okay. Also called modern portfolio theory or just portfolio theory, right? Three names for mean and variance, right? Variance is sigma squared. It's not sigma. Sigma is standard deviation, right? So, as well as being important in its own right, MPT forms the basis of capital asset pricing model discussed later in the course. Fair. That's chapter 7. MPT assumes that investment decisions are solely based upon risk and return, more specifically, the mean and variance of investment return. Okay. Investors are willing to accept higher risk in exchange for higher expected return. Okay. Right. So this can be consistent with the maximization of expected utility as outlined earlier in the course. Of course, if your utility maximizes, then your decisions are always there. They're never to maximize the wealth. It's always to maximize the utility. Very good, fair enough. Investors assume to have utility function that only uses mean and variance of investment returns, such as the quadratic utility function. So this is an assumption. This is an important assumption. Utility given mean and variance of investment returns. I think I've read that, yeah. So let's see. It can also be consistent if the distribution of investment returns is a function of only its mean and variance. Based upon these and other assumptions, MPT specifies a method for an investor to construct a portfolio that gives maximum return for method for investor to construct a portfolio that maximize return for specified risk. So याद रखना variance जो है variance is essentially it is risk, right? The entire job of MPT is to maximize my portfolio for specified risk. ठीक है. Hey, Yesha is here. What's up, Yesha? I'm doing modern portfolio theory, so I'm really excited about it. Having fun so far. That's the first page, so let's see. I think tonight's gonna be a long night, but hopefully, when I come out of it, I'm gonna be much better, much further along in my exam rush. So let's see. I think आज और कल में I can finish off CM2 hopefully, and then yeah, we would be golden. Also, I miss you, Pookie. Yeah, yeah, I know it's boring, but it is what it is. Also, I miss you, hella tons. I hope your leg gets better, bro. Plus, you also have to meet my friends, so I can't wait for that to happen soon. Uh, yeah, come along, join me, sit with me. You can put me on mute if you want, but you'll see my face studying. Yay! You're leaving? I thought you were gonna study with me. Ah, cool, 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 cool. You take care and get well soon, and I hope your leg heals fast. Miss you, and thanks for turning up to my stream. YouTube live पे नहीं. Oh, PDF. Cool, cool, cool. Thanks for tuning in, my fam. भाई सुपर चैट का तो मेरा सीन है. You should be sending me $100. 500 subscribers. Let's go. I want 500 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go. Anyway, uh, I think that answers your slave qualification. Take care. So section one of the chapters. Okay. So a minimum risk for a specified return. मतलब I will minimize my risk for specified return. Such portfolios are called efficient. I like the name Efficient Frontier. I think it sounds hella cool, man. Efficient Frontier. I always thought, so the southernmost city in the world is called Ushuaia. It's a place in Argentina. It's on my bucket list. I want to go there someday. But I want to do two trips to Ushuaia. The first one has to be just to visit Ushuaia, right? Like a trek through Patagonia and Tierra del Fuego, which means the land of fire, right? Um yeah, so like a trek through that, and then finally make it to Ushuaia, and at the final frontier of the world, like the final spot of the world, right? This is like where the world ends. And then I want to do a second trip when I go to Antarctica, but they have to be separate. That's always been a dream for me. Something I want to do on my own, with my own money, on my own time. And yeah, I think that explores life for me would be fun. Ironic considering I was in the much Navy, but it is what it is, I guess. And yeah. Anyway, when I'm so that I meant final frontier, right? So like the final frontiers, according to me, are probably I wanna go around the Cape of Good Hope, probably sit on a cliff there and just look at the final place in the world before giant ice mass. I wanna go to Chile, to Argentina, uh, probably the southernmost tip of the Australian continent. I have no idea where that is. I should Google that. Uh, let's see if I can Google it. Mm, I can't find the southernmost point of Australia, the continent. I can only find. I think, like a cool dude, I should just have AI do it for me. Uh, what is the southernmost point in the continent of Australia? So I can't find it. What is the southernmost point? Yeah, so it's called Jack Mart Island, which is the southernmost place. Oh shit! I have people. My bad. Sorry, I have people watching me. I gotta stop with the deadline. Hi Ria. Hi Kaustubh. How's life, guys? Bhai padle is real. Yeah, I should get back to studying. So I got sidetracked by efficient frontier. Oh, big fans. Right, sure. By the way, guys, Ria is my class's topper. She secured the highest pointer in the first sem, and she is also one of the coolest people you'll ever meet. Uh, yeah, she is outright the smartest person in our class, bro. Like, she has absolutely steamrolled everyone. And yeah, always ready to help, always happy to help. I'm so glad you're here, Ria. Also, Kaustubh is my CR. So, yay, I'm so happy you guys are here. Great. I'm going to study now. And yeah, we're going to do it together. Let's go. Pull your books out. So, rational investment prefers less. Risk covers will always choose the efficient portfolio. Section 2 uses the benefits of diversification. Okay. And shows that the returns smaller are statistically independent. The variance amount tends to towards zero when the comparison portfolio increased. Okay. Uh, I don't think that's safe, Kaustubh. I think you should drive when you drive and then get back home and study. But if you'd like to use this as like a podcast, so I can just probably read out the things to you and give you like my insights on it if you're driving. I think that's the best way I can help out. That way I can yap and you also gain something out of it. Cool. Okay, agree. Within the context of the mean variance portfolio theory, risk is defined very specifically as the variance. That is something that we've understood so far. or equivalently standard deviation of investment returns. Elsewhere in this and other courses, we discuss other possible measures and types of risk that might be relevant depending on the exact context considered. Right. So far what we've understood is that there is something called a mean variance portfolio theory or a modern portfolio theory or just okay, I'm on page number 2 of chapter 4. So this is portfolio theory and I'm on this page. So yeah. So so far what I've understood is that modern portfolio theory basically assumes first and foremost, that investments are made solely on the basis of risk and return. Right. There's no emotion involved. It's entirely on the basis of risk and return. So, more specifically, the mean and variance of investment return, and the investors are willing to accept higher risk in order to get higher returns and expectation of higher returns. Right. So, this is consistent with the theory of maximization of utility that we studied earlier, which stated that you maximize the utility of your investment, right? Not your wealth. So that's the thing, and it assumes that a utility function is there where which only uses the mean and variance of investment returns, such as the quadratic utility function. Alternatively, it can also be a distribution which is dependent on only its mean and variance, right? So the whole point is there are two things that someone does. One is to maximize the portfolio for a specific amount of sigma square, which is risk, or minimize the sigma square for a specific return, right? This is something called an efficient portfolio. So the first part of the chapter is going to talk about risk return combinations, right? And it's going to look at an opportunity set of available portfolios. The second part is something called the set of efficient portfolios or the efficient frontier. Efficient frontier is what sidetracked me into looking at the final frontiers of the world. That is a different bucket list story that we'll get into in another time. But tonight's goal is simple. We're going to finish off PTSA and we're going to do it well. We're going to do it right. We're going to make sure that we are done with this entire semester and we're scoring at least 95%. That's the target, and we can do it. Come on, gang. Let's go. So, a rational investor who is risk averse and prefers more to less will always choose an efficient portfolio. The second part will look at the benefits of diversification and also look that if the investments are statistically independent, then the variance of the portfolio tends to zero when the number of assets in the portfolio increases, right? That means your risk reduces when you diversify it. Risk is defined specifically as the variance, equivalently as standard deviation of investment returns. Also, in this, we look at different types of risk. Cool. So, other types of risk that might be relevant in an investment context, that would be the default or credit risk that we know, right? It is when your counterparty does not pay you, right? So it's called counterparty risk. Then there's inflation risk, that inflation बढ़ जाएगा तो आपका investment डूब गया. Exchange rate or currency risk, which basically uh, yeah, like if you're trading in rupee and dollar and you made a trade like 20 years ago when rupee was 80 and now it's touching 95, 97. So you will lose a lot of money in that arbitrage, unless and only on the dollar side, then you'd make a lot more money. Reinvestment risk, right, stems from uncertainty concerning the terms on which investment income can be reinvested, and marketability is whenever it's difficult to find a buyer. Okay, हाँ ठीक है, मतलब कोई खरीदने वाला नहीं मिला. Makes sense. Portfolio के लिए तो mean variance portfolio के लिए minus construct a portfolio with maximum return as well, minimum return as well, return. ठीक है. Max return for specified risk or min risk for specified return. Cool. Investor utility function also known as MPT allows the investor to choose the portfolio that has optimum balance between return and risk as mentioned by the variance of return and consequently maximizes the investor's expected utility. think I'm the only one here, which is nice. I still am not going to go out. Do anything. I'm gonna focus on this. Right. ठीक है. मुश्किल वक्त कमांडो साथ. So, this theory relies on strong limiting assumption of the properties of portfolio that are important to investors. Okay, remember variance mirror risk and gains as well as losses. Right. What is the definition of an opportunity set? I think I should. What are efficient portfolios? Good question. So, an efficient portfolio, from our introduction, what I understand is that it is a portfolio on the efficient frontier. Mm, well, to be exact, without okay, I'll simplify it. Efficient portfolio is a portfolio which maximizes returns for a specified amount of risk or minimizes the risk for a specified amount of return. If a portfolio is able to do that, it's a efficient portfolio. Yeah, that's it. It's basically I've made this. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah, I've written this down. So considering this calls it sigma square basically. 1 mark sorted. Yeah, 1 mark sorted indeed. Cool. I should put the definition of Williams opportunity set PT. Oh, this is ours. Alright, so we've written it down. Right, so the assumptions of the mean variance portfolio theory. It's based on some assumptions. There is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven assumptions is what we have in the notes as well. So all expected returns, variances, and covariances of pairs of assets are known. Investors make their decision purely on the basis of expected return and variance. Investors are non-satiated, they're risk averse, there's no fixed There's a fixed single step time period. There are no taxes or transaction costs. There's no leakage. And finally, assets may be held in any amounts. It means short selling is possible. We can have infinitely divisible holdings, and there are no maximum investment limits, right? So we'll meet these assumptions again, but so far it's very clear. We know everything about the pairs of assets, which is their mean, their expected returns, variances, and covariances. Decisions are purely based on the expected return and variance. Investors themselves are non-satiated; they're risk averse. Then we talk about time, right? So there is a single step, fixed single step time period. uh, there are no taxes or transaction costs, and finally, assets may be held in any amount. So short selling is possible, infinitely divisible holdings, and there's no maximum investment limit. Right, great. So I have three for asset, one three for investors, and one for time. Right. Now specification of the opportunity set. So an efficient portfolio is, well, I gave the definition earlier: maximize return for specified risk or minimize risk for specified return. Well, an efficient portfolio is basically one that is efficient until the investor finds a better portfolio that gives you greater return or reduces the risk. And any portfolio that is efficient is basically not inefficient. That's the only reason it's an efficient portfolio. So when you have a set of efficient portfolios that you've identified, you let go of the others. This set of portfolios is called the efficient frontier. However, investor may be able to rank efficient portfolios by utility function as shown below. That will determine the investor's optimal portfolio. Okay? If in an investor utility function, we can describe their attitude towards risk and return. If an assumption, you can call joint points of equal and expected utility. So I think my checkpoint is going to be Lagrangian uh, multipliers. I think that's where I'm gonna go for dinner. But that's where I'm starting selection of efficient portfolios. So remains to be seen. But yeah, I think so far it's going well. Um, yeah, I mean,
Plate, kitchen, biryani.
I'll have it. I'll have it in a while. I'll have it in a while. Yeah. I had to. I think the best way to pass Sem 2 is if you open your books with me and start studying with me. Uh, yeah, I think that way we guys can pull up together and I can tell you everything. I'm almost done with portfolio theory. I'm gonna do efficient portfolios and then uske baad mein, yeah, I think I have so tonight's plan is gonna be to finish our model of asset returns and asset pricing models. Um all going well, I think by 3 a.m. Yeah, so I'm planning on doing a marathon tonight and tomorrow. Tonight's gonna be for PTSA and tomorrow's gonna be for FE. So I think once that is done and the flow is sorted out, I think by Thursday or Friday max, I should be done with CM2. Uh, Also, there is SRM which I'm planning to do on the weekend. So yeah, I think by coming weekend, I should be in a decent enough position to solve the PYPQs. Uh, let's see. It's all estimated, but let's see. I think the whole point is to just sit and do it. Oh yeah, yeah, that's about it. Why don't you do a thing? Why don't you pull out your book and sit with me? I mean, come study with me, right? I don't have a list of important topics to focus on myself. Love you too, Anto. But I don't have a list of important topics. What I am doing, however, is basically just going through the syllabus and solving all the exam style questions that are given, and then I'm looking at the practice questions as well as the previous year question papers, right? So that is going to like I'm revising it on the go. I'm not going to sit and do another revision session until after I'm done with an entire round. So yeah, I'm going to shorten my notes tonight. The main plan today is to just sit, solve a few questions of each and every type, resolve them again so that the brain gets into the line, and then I'm going to go make short notes. These short notes are what I'm going to refer to, and I'm going to try and solve the question on the off and on. So let's see. But yeah, the whole point is that I make up for the practice. Uh, I still feel PTSA is a low hanging fruit. It's very formula based, apart from War and Tailwa, which I haven't done. I think I'll do it on the weekend. But the rest of PTSA is very theoretical, it's very formula based. I'm fairly certain that this is one subject that won't take you more than 2 days, provided you start studying right now, so that you're able to balance it with the stress of FE and SRM. Yeah, so I'm working on the PTSA project right now. Thanks, Avar. Love you. There's a big confusion in the PTSA project. So Avar texted me, being the nice guy that he is, and yeah, he basically told me कि थोड़ा issue हो गया है. So I had to work on that. But now we're back. In case of two securities, so the first principle is very simple. You basically add the this thing. So you take a portion of your total value and you invest it in sums, right? And then you get the rate and you multiply that rate into each thing, and then you go for the expectation. So you basically xi into the expectation, or yeah, which is ei, and you sum each and every one of them up. And then for the variance, you sum the parts and the xi, xj, and the cij, right? Which is nothing but sigma I, sigma j, and rho ij. And yeah, when you bring those things up for two securities, okay, I think I'm just going to write this down just to be sure. हाँ जी. So that was my mom calling me for dinner. But like we said, I am going to power through till my checkpoint, which is getting to selection of an efficient portfolio, which is around 5 pages away. So yep, let's go. Let's push. Security blue button. This is something that we've gotten for ourselves. Now go X Y. Oh, what the? I mind my language. समझ नहीं आ रहा मेरे को. स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन है. वेरिएंस. ओ करेक्ट. इसका सिग्मा 2.5 ही होगा ना. सिग्मा एक्स एंड सिग्मा वाई इज only 5%. Right. Oh, that's how it other 2.55, right? So variance is this is sigma x, this is sigma y. Cool. Let's try for 0.74. Now more comp, right? So sigma x was what? Sigma x was 5%, right, into 0.5%, right, okay, that into sigma x sigma y into 2, right? Covariance क्या था मेरा? Covariance for this is zero point 0.7 into 2, right? So that is my thing. So that I'm gonna store in A. Awesome. Now for B, that's gonna be 0.25. No, wait. What is this thing? Is XAEA, right? And my mean is 7.5%. 0.5% mean into XA is 0.5. So it's half the value. So 3 by 80. Now this I'm gonna store in B. Awesome, right? And XA, I see what I do. 0.5 square into 7.5%. This I'm gonna store in B. Awesome. Now for C, I'm gonna do zero point 0.5 square again into 15%. Okay, and this I'm gonna store in C. Great. Now I have A plus B plus C, and the answer to me is 0.058, which is wrong. Oh, I suck at this. It's okay. So I must set up my chair. I think I should sit straight. Right. So I just solved an exemplar sum, which is basically to calculate, like they've given us individual variances, and they said that the covariance is zero. So that means that both of these don't have anything to do with each other. Like both the assets don't have anything to do with each other, right? If one goes up and down, the other one goes up and down also, and they're completely independent. So with that, when you change the formula and you apply it, you realize that the sigma, which is the standard deviation, is less than the individual standard deviations for both the assets. So I got an answer of 1.9%, and the other guys have 2% and 6%. So that shows the benefits of diversification, which is pretty cool. 4.2 shows combination of securities with correlation coefficient of +1, 0, and -1. Coefficient +1, -1 obtained to it's possible to obtain risk-free portfolios with zero standard deviation of return. -1. Okay. Is risk free where v is equal to 0? I don't understand it. I just don't understand. I think I'm gonna ask AI to explain it to me. Hey, can you explain to me what's written on this paper? I just don't understand it. Explain it to me like I'm 5 years old. Or, yeah, just make it simple. Yeah, so if you can please just explain figure 4.2 and what's written under it as well. I've marked everything that needs to explain. Thanks. Can you simplify it and speak to me as if I'm a layman? Okay, so basically, what this graph means is that when you have correlation of plus one, right? So plus one correlation means that they're correlated, which means they're going to go in the same direction, and that means they'll wobble together, and it's just going to be average. So if they fall together. If they rise together. If it's zero, then there is, it's the same average, just with lower risk, because if one goes up, the other one may or may not go up, right? And the third one is minus one, which is when they move up in opposite direction. That means there exists a certain variance where it's zero. So that means the entire risk gets, matched out. So if rho is equal to plus one or minus one, then there exists a risk-free portfolio with v is equal to zero. Okay, right. So that will give you the straight return over the straight line in case of rho is equal to one as shown for 4.2. We use the formula XAEP and CV ठीक है किया मैंने ये वेरिएंस ऑफ पोर्टफोलियो रिटर्न ठीक है okay. Great, I've read selection of an efficient portfolio. So basically derivation में क्या होगा acting EP is equal to EXA plus EBXB, and I know that EB is 1 minus XA, to EBXB is equal to 1. Right, okay. Right. So I am done till selection of an efficient portfolio, which means I'm halfway through this chapter. Right. So yeah, I think that calls for a well-earned break. वैसे ज़्यादा नहीं है करने को तो निपटा लूँ but I have to fuel myself. I think that's important. So I'm gonna end the stream now, and I'm probably gonna take a hour-long break, watch some anime, have my dinner, chill for a while, probably take a nap, and then we're gonna wrap up portfolio theory tonight. Yeah, I think I should be good enough to finish a model of acid returns and acid pricing models. I think I can do that. I'm sure I can do it. Yeah, let's do it, dude. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Plus, I finally have YouTube to do this, so yeah, who cares? Chalo, see ya in an hour maybe. Lots of love, gang. See ya. Bye bye. I swear, God.